The Husqvarna FC 250 has been a podium contestant in Dirt Rider's 250F MX Shootout the past few years thanks to its potent engine, neutral handling, high-quality components, and low weight. Still, the bike lacked low-end power, and there was room for improvement on both the suspension and the ergonomics. Husqvarna addressed most of those concerns this year, and the FC 250 finished a close second place to its not-so-distant relative, the KTM 250 SXF. The two Austrian machines are more similar than ever in 2019. Before we began the shootout, we ran the FC 250 on our in-house dyno. With a Dunlop D404 street tire mount on the rear wheel, it churned out 39.27 horsepower at 13,660 RPM and 19.27 pound-feet of torque at 9,170 RPM, essentially identical to the KTM 250 SXF. With those numbers, the Husqvarna ranks first among the 6 bikes in both horsepower and torque. We then mounted a fresh set of Dunlop MX33 soft to intermediate terrain tires to ensure consistency and traction among the 6 competitors throughout the duration of the test. The FC 250 engine is excellent. It has moderate bottom end, a plentiful mid-range, and phenomenal top end and overrev. The Husky's power delivery is like the KTM's, but is slightly less responsive and doesn't rev as quickly. With its impressive high RPM power, the Husqvarna requires a minimal amount of shifting as it continues to pull in each gear. It doesn't have the low end of the Yamaha YZ250F, but it gets right back into the meat of the power band with some quick use of its buttery smooth Magura hydraulic clutch. The Husqvarna is also noticeably quieter than the 4 Japanese bikes and has a minimal amount of engine braking. The new Pankel transmission makes the Husqvarna and KTM the smoothest shifting bikes in the class. The FC 250 has 2 maps controlled by a switch on the left side of the handlebar. The Husqvarna also offers traction control, which can be used in either map. Map 1, Standard, has average low end, a strong mid-range, and outstanding top end and overrev. Map 2, Aggressive, offers better bottom end, which most test riders prefer. Traction control mellows out the power delivery, but we didn't use it very much as Map 1 is smooth enough in low grip conditions. In the suspension department, the WP AER 48 fork offers plenty of adjustability with air pressure, compression, and rebound, and the stock settings are great. The fork maintains a plush feel through the stroke and is more progressive than before. It has a supple feel on braking bumps and maintains good bottoming resistance on larger impacts. Still, it doesn't offer as much plushness or comfort as the KYB Speed Sensitive System fork on the Yamaha YZ250F. The WP shock is well matched to the fork. It's plush in the initial part of the stroke, tracks well over braking bumps and acceleration chop, and has good hold up on hard hits. Moving on to the handling, the FC 250 weighed in at 234 pounds on our automotive scales, which makes it the 3rd lightest bike in the class and 3 pounds heavier than the KTM. It's nimble, stable, and corners well. The 2019 frame is more rigid than prior year models and doesn't offer as much flex. This is an improvement as it enables the bike to handle more precisely. The Husqvarna has a neutral stance and works well with 105mm of shock sag. The ergonomics are very good. The seat has a flat profile and is easy to move around on, but it's a bit firmer than the KTM's and slightly less comfortable. The Pro Taper handlebar offers more flex than the neck and bar on the 250 SXF. Like the KTM, the Husqvarna has the strongest brakes in the class with Brembo components in the front and rear. The two also share excellent ODI lock-on grips. The reasons why it should have won are that it has a powerful engine, very good suspension, a neutral handling chassis, the strongest brakes, a hydraulic clutch, and is pleasantly quiet. The reasons why it didn't win are that in comparison to the KTM 250 SXF, it doesn't rev as quickly and has a firmer, less comfortable seat. It also doesn't have as much bottom end power as the Yamaha YZ250F.